may be seated. We are here today for the state versus Jeremiah Birch. Is everyone in the right room?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do I have the prosecuting attorney present today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are all your witnesses here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Do I have the attorney for the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your client with you today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that Jeremiah Birch?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Jury, thank you for your service. We want you to listen carefully to the facts presented in this case, because when it's finished, we'll ask that you follow the letter of the law to decide for either the prosecution or for the defense. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's go ahead and begin with the opening statement from the state.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in this case, Mr. Birch has been accused of aggravated battery. The story goes like so. Mrs. Ada Mae Moses invited Mr. Wolf over to audition for a part in a play. He was unable to attend regular auditions because of a personal reason. Mr. Wolf was to try out for the part of Master Spot. He was wearing Miss Moses's clothing. Was wearing Miss Moses's clothing to try out for the part. Well, Miss Moses's granddaughter, Miss Hood, came over to visit. She was utterly shocked to see a man in her grandmother's house in her grandmother's clothing, as I assume all of you would be if you were upon the same situation. She screamed, and at that moment Mr. Wolf clamped his hand over her mouth to calm her down and stop screaming. Mr. Birch heard the screaming, and he was visiting Miss Moses' neighbor, and so he grabbed his axe and ran over to try to stop the commotion. Now, as you can see, he had no idea what was going on. And he broke in, and he started repeatedly hitting Mr. Birch repeatedly hitting Mr. Wolf over the head with the handle of the axe. I am here today and there were previous arguments between the two. And Mr. Birch was pretty well bent on revenge. I am here to prove to you that Mr. Birch is guilty of aggravated battery and is guilty. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Opening statements from the defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the date of May 14th, my client, Mr. Birch, was accused of aggravated battery. I will prove to you that Mr. Birch did nothing to harm Mr. Wolf. The reason Mr. Birch went to Miss Ada Mae Moses' house was because she heard an awful lot of screaming. So he grabbed his axe, expecting the worst. When he got there, he saw Ivan Wolf, who had his hand over Miss Hood's mouth. He was just trying to protect Miss Hood. Today I'm here to defend Mr. Birch. Thank you. That is all, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Do you have a witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I called to the stand Miss Ada Mae Moses.
Okay. Miss Ada Mae, do you need any assistance coming up to the stand? Bailiff, would you swear in Ms. Moses?
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
I would caution all the witnesses today to speak up so that the jury can hear your answers.
Ms. Moses, did you invite Mr. Wolf over to your house?
Yes.
And whenever Mr. Birch decided decided it would be a good idea to charge into your house. What were the damages done to your house?
My screen door was completely damaged.
About how much money did it cost you to replace this screen door?
About $50.
And when you saw Mr. Wolf and Mr. Birch having this tussle, and you saw Mr. Wolf was bleeding profusely on the head, what were your thoughts?
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
All right, and how did the struggle conclude?
Can you please repeat that?
And how did the struggle end?
So what did you observe who was injured? Did you observe any injuries or anything?
Mr. Wolf had head injuries.
That is all, Your Honor.
Cross-examination? Yes. Where were you whenever they were in their scuffle?
I was outside getting stuff off the clothes.
About how long would you say you were outside?
15 minutes.
What were you doing outside again?
Getting clothes off the way.
What did you do with those clothes whenever you were done?
Took them inside and folded them.
So while you were inside folding the clothes, how did you not realize that they were fighting?
Well, actually, I was folding the clothes outside and then I took them inside.
So is that what took you the 15 minutes?
Yeah.
That's all you're on.
You may step down, Ms. Moses.
Your next witness, please.
I call to the stand Mr. Wolf.
Looks that way. Bailiff, you might stay very close to this witness for me, all right?
Mr. Wolf, what were the extent of your head injuries?
Excuse me, I need to interrupt. I do need the bailiff to swear in the wolf.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth and the truth and nothing but the truth?
Is that a hand or a paw?
What were the extent of your head injuries?
You got hit right in the temple and right.
That is your temple, sir.
Well, yeah.
What was the sum of the money of the operation to fix this? How much did you have to pay?
$100,000.
Did you have any idea of the grudge Mr. Birch had toward you?
No, I don't remember doing anything.
Are you positive?
Objection!
This is not right.
Why is he doing that? That's like not needed.
Bailiff, could you please escort that jury member back to his seat?
No, I didn't.
Jury member, I would caution you and remind you that you are here to just be an observer and listen to the proceedings. You are not to get out of your chair. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Otherwise, we will hold you in contempt and you will be seated in that witness chair defending yourself at some point. I don't think you want that. I do not want to see you in my court again. Okay, proceed.
Are you positive you had absolutely nothing to do with it?
Yes, I'm positive.
That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Excuse me, Wolf, you need to be seated. Do we have questions from the other side?
Yes, Your Honor. Have you met Mr. Birch before?
Yes, I have to leave now.
Where did you meet him?
Down by the park, down by the bay, by his house a few times.
Did you ever, before this incident, did you ever get in a scuffle before?
Not with Mr. Burke.
That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, witness, you may step down. Next witness, please. State your name.
I call to the stand Officer Terry Hunter.
Bailiff, could you swear in this witness?
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth and the truth